You are watching SHOUTcraft, exciting entry-level esports commentary with myself, TotalBiscuit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SHOUTcraft. We're casting a match right here in the Lost Temple between WhiteRa in the red trunks playing the one and only Protoss versus Machine in the pink trunks playing Zerg. Now, if you remember correctly, in the first matchup of this best of 5 series, Machine ended up winning after a long and a hard-fought struggle. It was brutal to watch and incredibly entertaining to see. Let's see whether or not he can repeat that performance here against WhiteRa. WhiteRa, a formidable player, as you can imagine. WhiteRa starts off with the pylon. No big surprises there from WhiteRa thus far. I was expecting him to build some kind of little shrine to his heathen god. Didn't happen. Disappointed. What can I say? In the meantime, Machine, as you might imagine, Overlord on its way out. Machine scouting. What does he see? Actually going off in that direction, which is fairly surprising. I thought he'd just pop all the way over there. He didn't get any scouting information, so he's heading over in that direction, but then again, he can't send that Overlord over in that direction. Just bear in mind that it's not necessarily the best idea to run your Overlord all the way over there straight away and say, oh, look, I'm an Overlord, right, it's like, okay, so WhiteRa knows exactly where his opponent is as soon as that happens, and Machine gains absolutely no valuable scouting information of any description. That would be a little bit problematic, and indeed, that's why he's going to avoid doing that if at all possible. Gateway coming up for Ra right there, spawning pool on 14 supply for Machine. Nice and basic start, honestly. Not bothering with a fast expansion just yet. He's going to leave his natural expansion alone. Might go on for that later. Ra with the single assimilator. And what can we expect to see from Ra? Well, he's got the pylon at the back right there. Gives him a little bit of flexibility as to where he wants to build. If he needs to build quite close to his mineral line, that helps. And Machine finally there with the drone scout. He doesn't want to take his Overlord too far into the base, but then again, it's not as much of a risk against the Protoss as it is against the Terran. Why is that? Well, it's fairly obvious, because Zealots can't shoot into the air. Simple as that. Cybernetic score coming up, though, so he will have something. Machine doesn't want to risk losing an Overlord, but it doesn't look very likely to happen. It's a nice pass over there. By the time there's any guns in the air, he'll be all the way out of there. Zealot coming up for WhiteRa to block that ramp, and the expansion a little bit later on for Machine there. Not going straight into it, but fairly quick nonetheless. And the question is, what is he going to do after this? He hasn't picked up any gas yet, so no speedlings, no roaches for the time being. Simply relying on a couple of queens, looking for that economic advantage early on in the game. WhiteRa steals a little bit of minerals. What a cheeky little bastard. He's been known to do that. Yeah, it's larceny, ladies and gentlemen. Gas steal there from Machine as well, delaying the early double gas for WhiteRa. Zealot will be able to chop through that in a little bit of time, though, so that shouldn't alter his plans too much. Stalker coming in, and that will prevent any more of that lazy air scouting there from EG Machine's Overlords. Couple of Zerglings on the way. Not that they're going to do much. They are there for one reason alone. Get a little bit of scouting information by sitting on the Xel'Naga watchtowers and generally making an absolute nuisance of themselves. Unfortunately for Machine, he's about to lose that one if he's not careful. There we go. And a good solid first blood there for WhiteRa. WhiteRa moves out the single Stalker. And what defense is available? Well, he's got a Queen up and already in with a Spine Crawler, so he's not going to have too many problems defending that for the time being. He's going to need a lot more than that. Forge on its way up for WhiteRa as well. So, why would he go with a Forge? Well, there's a couple of reasons for that. One of them being that if you're going up against Zerglings, it's nice to have that +1 weapon upgrade, because that means you kill Zerglings in 2 Zealot swings rather than 3. A little bit of harassment going on right here. DuckloadRa gets some good shots off on Machine. Machine's Queen already at about half health. The Queen of Machine, ladies and gentlemen, yes. And Zealot coming in to back it up. But the thing is, that Spine Crawler's going to be up, and once that happens, he wants to take the Queen before it happens. Can he take the Queen? No, he can't. Now surrounded nicely by EG Machines. Oh, there we go. There we go. Zealot goes down. Second Stalker coming in to reinforce. WhiteRa moves it back slightly out of range. Can he harass it? No, he really cannot. Shield can't hold up against that, but look at it. He wants that Queen. He needs the Queen. It's on 50 HP. Machine is not having any of that, and he backs off. WhiteRa sorting himself out with an expansion as well. Assimilator going up right there. Gas heavy already for Ra. Nice. Interesting stuff. Now, what could he be doing with that? Well, what couldn't he be doing with that? More to the point. There's that upgrade. Still looking for that Zealot pressure, but he's only got a single warp gate for it, yet more pressure being applied to the Queens. WhiteRa keeping his Stalkers alive, microing between them, and making sure that they take the damage on the shields and not on the main armor of the Stalkers. That Spine Crawler sits there at about 2/3 health, though. Upgrade to Lair coming in for Machine. What's he going to get out of that? Well, he's got his Zergling upgrade coming up for his speed. That's always nice for a little bit of flexibility as well as some harassment. And look at that, Ra with 2 gateways straight into robotics facility, looking possibly for Colossi after that. It is very likely, honestly, it works very well against the Zerg, no doubt about that. Could also be going for Immortals, but honestly, Machine not pumping out anything really worthwhile for that. If he's going for Lair, he could be going for Mutalisks, in which case, then those Immortals aren't going to do too much good. But then again, neither are the Colossi either. The thing is, Ra's got plenty of gateways on the way. They will be up way before that Lair, and he'll be able to deploy some Stalkers very quickly if any Mutalisk harassment comes in from the side. And this is a nice map to do it with as well. Nice short run all the way over there. Can hit the mineral line. No defenses there. Admittedly, he does have a forge, so he might decide after popping out this observer that he's building right here and spotting what his opponent's doing to throw in a cannon or two for good measure. Pylon going up right there, and a pylon going up right there. So, yeah, I would imagine that's exactly what he's going to do. And there comes the Spire coming up for the Mutalisks for Machine. By the time those Mutas get anywhere near, I'd imagine that WhiteRa will already have counteracted that with a couple of cannons, at least to hold off any kind of unsustained harassment. Observer spots the Overlord. Is it going to be enough firepower to bring it down? Unfortunately not. 29 HP. That Overlord is thanking its lucky stars today. A little bit of Blink would have helped there, but again, he doesn't have the necessary buildings for it, doesn't have his Twilight Council up, and Ra with a good, solid defensive line right here against any kind of solid ground attack. War Prison coming up, and Twilight Council coming up as well, so he might not even bother with the Colossi. He's got 2 more gateways on the way. Looks like he's going to rely on those gateway units, possibly Stalker Blink strategy, maybe pop out a couple of Immortals for drops for good measure at the back right there. Machine looking fairly vulnerable at the back, honestly. Roach Warren and Spire coming up, so lots of flexibility. And Machine decides he wants the golden minerals. He loves gold, ladies and gentlemen. WhiteRa is having a look around and seeing what he can see. He spots a line of not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 of those spine crawlers. Will we see any more? It's certainly a possibility. No detectors, though, so he can sneak in unopposed. What's he going to spot, though? Well, basically anything and everything. There comes the Spire. What's he building? He's got 10 Mutalisks on the way. Here's the counter, though. The counter's coming up, and WhiteRa already has that Blink on the way. He's got quite a bit of time to wait, though. Ground weapons level 2 coming up as well. That will allow him to scythe through those Mutalisks with good fortune and good measure. Glal reconstruction coming up for EG Machine. Again, looking for the flexibility. You're always going to be flexible in this kind of scenario. If this doesn't work out for Machine, he's going to have to try something else. He's going to be able to get some harassment on there, and indeed, he might have enough to deal with that bunch of Stalkers. Probably not. It's going to be nasty casualties, actually, for Machine. Machine already realized it loses a Mutalisk before he's able to turn around and skate away. WhiteRa now on the move, looking for defenses, whereas EG Machine probing said defenses, seeing what you find. Up come the photon cannons to give him a little bit of anti-air defense. Not that one will do too much against that little flock of Mutalisks right there. Blink is still on its way, though, almost researched, and once it is, Ra's going to be able to catch his opponent on the back foot. It could be devastating. Look how he's fallen back right there. A little bit of harassment on the pylon. Does he bring it down? No, he doesn't. EG Machine backing off once again with the flight, and the upgrade coming up right there for the Zerg Flyer attacks. Looking to invest in the Mutalisk strategy for the time being. That's keeping his opponent on the back foot. Look at the harassment right there on the pylon. He's going to be able to take it out. It's looking very likely. Where's the Blink? Are we going to get the Blink? No, we're not. Not quite quick enough. DuckloadRa not able to respond to that. Loses a pylon, and that actually supply blocks him as well. It could cause him a few problems. He's going to have to get his pylon sorted out straight away, and he reacts immediately to that. But he's having his defensive line sort of forced back here. I mean, if you look right here, you've got a nasty hole in the defenses that you can't fill with photon cannons. So, EG Machine looking to exploit that weakness, going once again for the pylon. Where are those Stalkers? Are those Stalkers out of the way? They're actually all the way out. That pylon is absolutely doomed, no doubt about that one. Going for another one. Is he going to grab another one? No, he's not. Forced away there by the photon cannon. Grabs that straight away. They're in the base, and they're killing these dudes, ladies and gentlemen. There's the Blink right in, and DuckloadRa pushing those Mutalisks away, but doesn't get any kills out of it. No casualties for EG Machine. EG Machine still on the aggression, and able to, more importantly, expand without harassment. DuckloadRa knows exactly where he is, but EG Machine's spreading that creep. Look at that. He's got gold minerals, and he's already got this one as well. Let's have a look at the income, shall we? Look at what he's got. He is pumping it out. He's got a lot of harvesters coming in, and once he really gets that expansion rolling, that's going to be very dangerous indeed. In comes the aggression, folks. What's he got for his counter-attack? It's a powerful, a potent force. 19 Stalkers, backed up by 4 sentries, moving into engage. Looks like the gold one. Oh dear. Yep, gold expansion is in an awful lot of trouble there. Machine deciding not to bother to defend against that, or is he? No, he decides to come around, and there we go. Nice block in the back with a set. Oh, fantastic force fields. Yes, indeed, he's going to have his wicked way in here, and nobody's going to stop him ravaging this hatchery. Hatchery is doomed. It's down. Economic destruction inflicted right there, and WhiteRa, unfortunately, now stuck inside with a veritable cavalcade of those nasty mutalisks, as well as a backup by the speedlings right there. Roaches on the way as well. There's the blink, and doing big damage to the flock. On both sides. Lost a few stalkers in the process. Is he going to fight straight up? Yes, he is. Looking for the blink. There we go. Blinking up on there to avoid some of the finds of the Zerglings. Micromanaging them into individual groups. Able to deal with almost everything on the ground. Now the Mutalisks taking their heavy toll. Lots of damage coming in. The Roaches coming in from the side. It's still not going to do the job, though. Those Mutalisks are going to take so much damage there from DuckloadRa. DuckloadRa continuing that fusillade into the air. So many Mutalisks lost there by EG Machine. Reinforcements coming in from the side right here. There's another one's going to go down to that. That's a nice blink out of there once again. Avoids yet more damage. So close to grabbing that one. There's the pursuit. And grabs another one out of the air. Way more Mutalisks falling out of the sky at a rate of knots right here. Roaches coming in from the side to try and deal with it. Is it going to be enough? So much damage inflicted on Ra, but look at how much damage he's able to do. He is still on the move, ladies and gentlemen. Looking for yet more economic harassment, but this could be the doom of Ra. Is he going to be able to blink off the side of the cliff and avoid these Roaches? He's looking for it. Can he get it? Yes, he can, and off he goes. Oh, yes. Now, let's go post-mortem of that. Look at that. Machine lost an awful lot of units there. Admittedly, they were far less costly. But more importantly, he lost that expansion, and he lost the economic advantage. Which is more vitally important. In the meantime, DuckloadRa deciding, hey, we're going to go take a gold. That sounds good. I like the look of yours, and since I couldn't have it, well, I guess I'll have my own. Should do the job for him. Question is, what are they building right now? Ha ha ha, DuckloadRa says, well, you know what you're lacking? That would be detectors. You know what I've got? I've got Dark Templar. Dark Templar are on their way, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see just what he can do with them. In the meantime, continuing that aggression with the Stalker Pack. Lots of great micromanagement there. Look at that Protoss ground weapon level 3 coming up. Look at the amount of damage they can already do. 16 versus armor, 12 damage. He's going to get 13 and 17, if I recall correctly from that. And we've got a couple of cannons coming up there for good measure, just so that he can keep a hold of that Xel'Naga Watchtower, get the early warning. What is Machine doing in the meantime? Well, he's certainly not sitting idle, because he has a force of Roaches for the ages. The counter is coming in from DuckloadRa, but way too slow. Single Immortal coming up against 35 Roaches. That will last all of maybe 1 second. Yet more engagement as the Mutalisks are torn from the sky by DuckloadRa's force of Stalkers. He's got 20 of them at the moment. He can warp in way more. Single Immortal on the ground, another one on this way. The thing is, there come the Dark Templar. Dark Templar Shrine is now up, and here comes the warping. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Look at what he was saving for. He broke open his piggy bank and brought us 7 Dark Templar. And those Roaches are on the way, and they're about to meet something very unpleasant. Or will they? Did Machine notice them coming past? That is a... Well, he certainly knows they're there now. There comes the assault. A lot of Roaches coming in. But as you notice, pulling back right there. And those... Oh, dear. Dark Templar spread all over the place. As the battle goes on right here, it's a fairly even match right here, but the reinforcements from the Immortals will help. Unfortunately, the Stalker line collapsing. But in the meantime, look at what he's doing. He's already got one in there. He's got the... Dark Templar slicing away at that expansion. A few more falling back right there to defend it. Stalkers took heavy losses, but now on the top of the hill, able to rain down terror and destruction upon EG Machine. And right now, EG Machine does not have anything to counteract that. He's got his Overseer out right now, so he's going to have to get that in pretty quickly. Look at that. There is the swarm right in there. And the Overseer backing it up. That Dark Templar is absolutely doomed. No doubt about that. He's going to need to invest a lot more in a few more Overseers, though, because look at that. They were able to take down another expansion. There was so much going on simultaneously. Couldn't grab that one. Hopefully you guys were paying attention to the minimap. Once again, pumping out Overseers left, right, and center, throwing out an awful lot of gas to do that. But in the meantime, DuckloadRa was able to... Well, I wouldn't say defend his Nexus. He did lose it. He's rebuilding it now, but he was able to crush his opponent, and he's moving right back in there as his opponent's on the back foot trying to deal with those Dark Templar. Now he's got his force of Stalkers rebuilt. Dark Templar are in the mix as well, just to make matters even worse for his opponent. Bear in mind, though, those Overseers are all over the place. The effectiveness now has been blunted. They're still extremely strong. You can see right there, no Overseer. That means he's going to lose one of those. He'll be able to break through the defensive line, and then he's looking for an attack. As the Overseer moves in to do it, is he going to be able to grab it quickly enough? He's going to lose all of that down, but there's the blink. There's the trap as it's sprung, and he slices his way through the Roaches with great fervor and furious anger. There they go, down they go, all very horribly dead. That's all I can say to that. More firepower coming in from the side right here as the Spine Crawler desperately tries to defend the expansion. Is it going to do the job? No, it's not. GG! Machine gives it up, and it's 1-all to WhiteRa. Impressive display right there, using the abilities of his Dark Templar to distract his opponent, forcing him to stop attacking so that WhiteRa could deliver that killing blow when he had the opportunity. Well done to him indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just tuned in, this is a Haribo, and it's fantastic. However, you are listening to SHOUTcraft, and indeed, I would hope viewing SHOUTcraft. This is not a radio show. I will be a little bit weird.